I'll finish it.
I want it right now.
Hold to the wrong stuff.
All right, let's get into some Anthony Belton talk. That sound good, man?
Let's do it.
All right, little Cadillac, right? Or not Cadillac. What is it? Escalade.
Escalade.
Escalade. So Anthony Belton, we put this article together and we updated it. Okay, so I'm going to scroll through pretty quick some of the scouting report we already covered. Now, listen, this one caught us off guard. Where did we have him on our board? Do you remember 145? Yep, 145.
Yes.
So we had him in the 145 spot on our PTA big board. And we weren't the only one that had him a little bit lower. There was other people that had him in the third or fourth round grade, right? I want to say Dane Brugler did. I'm not going to read the entire write up here, but I just want to give a quick refresher of his high school career, stuff like that. I always love these type of stories. I think it's great. And then we'll get into the Dane Brugler scouting report. We'll also get into the little Greg Cosell scouting report as well. We're going to do this with all the draft picks this year. It's going to be our series leading up through the summer. We'll be hitting on the draft picks. We'll be hitting chalk talk, all that good stuff. So
nice.
We will. I want to say this. We're going to round out tonight's show doing chalk talk. So be prepared to jump over on X or Rumble. Okay, just be prepared for that. When we get through with the scouting report, we'll go to the tape. We can't show that on YouTube. I'm not going to explain it every time why we can't. It is what it is. But just be ready to hop on Rumble and on X so you guys can tune into that. But a 4-star recruit from Florida State University High School in Tallahassee, Florida. In the 2021 class, Anthony Belton arrived as a polished, physically imposing prospect. 6'6", 310 pounds. He dominated at left tackle, blending a nasty edge and standout athleticism that shone on both sides of the ball. His senior tape featured a quick first step and a knack for burying defenders, earning him all-state honors. Ranked number 62 among Florida prospects by 24/7 Sports. Belton committed to NC State over offers from Louisville, Indiana, and UCF, viewed as a high-ceiling talent with pro potential. All right. College statistics, we'll skip over that. We hit it before. The PFF grades, 74.8, 64.2, 65.9, and then jump to a 73.6. But look at the pass blocking grade. We just talked about how the Packers love Devontae Wyatt and his pass rushing ability.
Mm-hmm.
Amelia, they're the same way on offensive line, dude. They want these guys to be able to pass block first and foremost, right?
Well, absolutely. And I mean, because like we've talked about, you got to protect Jordan Love. We're building that wall. You have a lot of money behind the wall. You got to protect him. You see that size. You'll see it on the tape. He's got quick feet. He can react, and he can, like, if he catches himself, too far over his skis, or he's a little bit out of position, he's got like a jump back that he can do, or kind of like a jump cut that he can get back into position and still anchor. And he's got really good, like hand techniques. He's playing a little bit ahead of his spot, being that in college right now. He's got some advanced techniques in there for sure.
Yeah. Greg Rice asking the tough questions here. Did he dry hump any defenders? He did not, sir. He did not. So he let us down in that regard.
But talking about what we finished the last pod with was pancakes. I mean, we should be calling this man syrup, like DJ was saying, because all he does is pancake people.
Dude, seriously. And you're going to notice on the tape, as he approaches the defender or as a defender approaches him, they disappear. Yeah. They're like he engulfs them. It almost looks like he's holding them, but he's not, because he's so big. It's like they fit inside his shoulders.
You know exactly. I mean? Yeah, he gets his paws on them and it's over.
Yeah. Holmes MD1 says Belton is a mean, heavy-handed son of a gun. That's what you see. He plays with violence, and that's what you want for sure. So moving along here, detailed scouting report entering the combine. We won't get too much into that other than this right here, 33.88-inch arms. He had 20 bench reps. You think that number seems a little low. 20 is kind of that mark. If you hit 20, you're good to go. It's kind of how the NFL sees it. But when you're hitting 20 reps with almost 34-inch arms, that's really doing something, because it's much harder to bench press with the longer arms for sure. So it says his 2024 tape highlights a stout pass protector, leveraging his arm length to thwart edge rushers, exactly what you see on the tape. And his bulk to anchor against power. Tailor-made for Green Bay's outside zone scheme. In the run game, he's a mauler. That's the thing, too. When you look at this run block grade, it's a 69.4. It's not bad, but it's not as good as that 87.3. When you turn on the tape, you go, what the hell were they watching? Because
he gets to the next level. He gets his hands on guys. He can turn guys. He can wall down. I mean, he can wash out an entire side. If you're asking him to get to the center and just wall off that side, done. You know what I mean?
Definitely. So here's the full RAS card, a 7.73 with 33.8-inch arms. His hand size, 10 1/4. bro. He gave some big old paws on that cat. 6'6", 336, 20 bench reps, vertical jump of 29.5 inches, a broad jump of 8'11", 40-yard dash of 5.26. His shuttle of 4.69 is very interesting. That scored him a 7.29 there as well. So just a big, big old boy, no doubt about it. Injury and character concerns. Belton's injury slate is cleanish. A 2023 ankle tweak didn't cost him time, and he gutted out a late 2024 shoulder issue without missing a start. His 37 career starts underscore durability. Off the field, he's a locker room favorite, gritty, selfless, and praised for his work ethic. A high school multi-sport athlete playing basketball and running track. Belton's competitive fire burns bright with zero off-field concerns. Now you see here, his draft projection in terms of the consensus big board was saying 3rd to 4th round, right? We got him in the 2nd. And you guys seen us. If you didn't watch us, we were live in Green Bay for the draft show. When they took him, when something like this happens that doesn't align with their board, my thought process isn't, oh, this is a bad pick. My thought process is, okay, what are we missing here? And then it immediately shifts to, you remember when we were in the Packer Hall of Fame?
Yep.
Emilio? Remember we got to see Brian Gutekunst's draft board?
Yes.
And he had 1st round grades, 2nd round grades, 3rd round grades. Immediately I thought of that board that we seen and thought, he's got a 2nd round grade on this. It hit me all at once. Like, he has a legit 2nd round grade on
like a 6'8", 6'9". You know, he probably could have been peaking, you know, almost that 1st round grade on him. And imagine if he was taken in the 1st round, or even if he did have a 1st round grade and there's like, how is this guy slip? You know, because there was a lot of talk about after the Senior Bowl, he really blew up and, you know, put his name on the map. That's something that Brian Gutekunst has his eye on for sure. He's looking into that stuff. And even before that, Clay, in the Hall of Fame, you go over to, I don't even know who they have on the wall there, but you stand up there to try to measure your wingspan. I mean, 34-inch arms, those are long. I mean, those are paws.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Getting me emotional. And it goes on to say his ceiling as a potential starter hinges on refining his agility, while his floor as a reliable swing tackle aligns with Green Bay's knack for grooming linemen like Zach Tom, a sleeper with traction as draft buzz builds. What I see here, Emilio, and I'm just trying to think ahead to training camp, which I cannot wait for training camp. One of my favorite shows that we do, you guys know we go live every single day here on PTO. We try to. We may take a day or two off for family purposes, things like that. But one of my favorite days out of the year was when we have a training camp practice that's open to the public, right? And it's on a Saturday because I'm typically not working on that day. Yep. And I can just go live during the practice and read the updates on Twitter, show y'all some quick videos that are leaking out. It is an absolute blast, man. That's when you know you're getting close to real football, right? I can't wait to see him in camp. Emilio, I was hearing Brian Bulaga talk about this earlier today on Wildy and Tau's show. And they were both kind of going back and forth, both Wildy and Bulaga. And you guys know Brian Bulaga, just a quick refresher, 1st round pick out of Iowa, right? He was drafted to play left tackle, and he couldn't play tackle. They tried him at guard in camp. He could not play guard, and he was drafted to replace Chad Clifton. But in hearing them talk about this, what ended up happening is Mark Tauscher, right tackle, got hurt, and he ended up filling in for him. Now, listen, there is not a person on the face of the earth that wants anything to happen to Zach Tom. Please don't read between the lines here. I'm simply saying he may go into camp and just start smoking people's heads, right? Mm-hmm. He may take that left tackle job from Rasheed Walker. He also may take the right guard spot from Jordan Morgan. Now, Jordan Morgan plays backup left tackle. It's a beautiful thing about taking linemen early in the draft 2 years in a row is you gave yourself options now.
Right.
And if Jordan Morgan hadn't been hurt last year when we played Philly, that game might have ended up somewhat different when Elton Jenkins goes out of the game, Emilio.
And they saw that. You lose a guy to an injury, you have to be able to replace him. I love Glover, but we needed to bring in some more competition. You know, all you do is rinse and repeat. You have to rinse and repeat, and you're looking at a year ahead or 2 years ahead, trying to figure out contract-wise what's going to help out this team the most. You know, where are they going to be able to maybe save a little bit if they don't have to pay X, Y, and Z? And we've been talking about Rasheed. How many times have people mentioned it? You know, maybe we trade Rasheed, or, you know, we can get a comp pick for Rasheed, anything of those sorts. It's a possibility, not this year, but next. and that's kind of where you need to look ahead. You know, you already have a first-round guy in Jordan Morgan coming in. I think that you say, all right, let's bring in one more and just try to iron sharpens iron that whole room.
Yeah, definitely. So here's what Dane Brugler said. We'll just kind of rush through this, but I want you to notice 3rd to 4th round grade. Emilio, we weren't the only ones that had him around that range, right? Here are the strengths. Blocks out the sun with his massive size. Adequate lateral movement and relies on long arms to help protect the corner. Rushers meet hard resistance when attempting to test his anchor. Plays as powerfully as you would expect to push defenders where he wants. Washes defenders on down blocks to create running room. Impressive foot speed on inside zone and blots out defenders on screens. Plays with edge and switch stays flipped on the field. Important to him to have most pancakes each game. Actively searches for the next victim when uncovered. When they run a duo, or let's say that they stun away from him, whether it's a running play or a pass play, he's actively looking for someone. All right, where is someone that I can ruin their damn day?
Yep.
I love that about him.
If the close arm was still legal, I mean, he would be swinging that thing.
Right. Started 32 games at left tackle in the ACC. A little background, Anthony Belton grew up in northern Florida. We kind of talked about this stuff before, but it says he played sports as a child, including football, starting as a wide receiver in Pee Wee.
Wow. Wow.
He would later move to linebacker in middle school and then the offensive line before high school. For high school, Belton enrolled at Florida State University School in Tallahassee and became a 4-year varsity letterman at tackle. He added almost 50 pounds between his freshman and junior seasons. It's a lot of pancakes.
That's a lot of pancakes.
He added almost, yes, we got that. Started at right tackle. Yeah, between his freshman and junior year, started at right tackle in 2017. He also played both ways as a defensive tackle his final 2 seasons. I didn't know that. Helping Florida State University School to an 8-4 record in 2018. Some people would say that 8-4 ain't that good. Florida high school football, boys, is no joke. That's real deal stuff down there. No star recruit out of high school. I didn't know that. Belton wasn't ranked by online recruiting services in the 2019 class, though he received interest from Division I programs. He was a late academic qualifier and didn't have any offers. Belton went the junior college route and signed with Georgia Military College, where he was teammates with defensive lineman Yaya Diaby. He played 2 seasons at Georgia Military and lined up at both left tackle and right tackle. Belton received his first scholarship offers from FCS schools such as Albany, Florida A&M, and Missouri State in April 2020. His first FBS offer arrived from TCU in June 2020, and he committed to the Horned Frogs. Belton added offers from Houston, South Carolina, West Virginia, and others during the 2020 season, and decommitted from TCU in November of 2020. He narrowed his final choice to NC State over Syracuse and UCF. That's what we talked about earlier in the article. Ultimately signing with NC State. He was the 19th ranked recruit and head coach Dave Doran's 21 class. Belton took advantage of the extra year of eligibility granted by the NCAA because of the COVID-19 pandemic. In return for his 6th season, he graduated with a degree from NC State in December of 23. Belton opted out of NC State's 24 bowl game and accepted his invitation to the Senior Bowl. Here's what Greg Cosell says. Physically imposing man. I love that he calls him a man, too. I mean, look, it's like this kid is dumb, physically imposing man with outstanding size and length for the offensive tackle position, in addition to plus athletic movement, run game snaps where he came off of the ball low as a base drive blocker, contact strength with heavy hands. That's what we talked about earlier, the heavy hands, dominating run game snaps, climbing to the second level with balanced striking and driving through linebacker with force. Does that not scream duo and what we do with duo? Light, quick, athletic feet as a backside zone run game blocker, moved more fluidly than his size would suggest, showed quick lateral movement and core strength to execute backside cutoff blocks in zone run game, efficient kick slide in pass protection with balance and knee bend and good stature, hands in the strike position, used arm length effectively in 45-degree and vertical pass sets, dominant reps when strike timing was precise, forceful as a short setter in pass protection with quick set and light athletic feet and his imposing size and mass. Comfortable mirror and redirect in pass protection, stayed balanced and with clean footwork, and did not bend. Are you guys getting the idea of why I like Greg Cosell so much? Are you seeing how detailed this write-up is? Like he's covering all the bases. Capable of dominating reps in pass protection where he engulfs rushers and drives them to the ground. You've heard it from 3 different sources now. He just absorbs these pass rushers. Sheer size and mass allowed him to recover at times of pass protection when he lost technique and control. Don't want to go through the transition part there. Just want to hit the strengths from Greg Cosell. Emilio, anything else you want to add to him before we get to the chalk talk here, man? I mean, I think we got us a dog here, man. It really feels like it.
Absolutely. And I think that, Greg Cosell kind of hit it a few times there compared to the PFF grade, his running grade. He can do the things in the run game that allows him to help help the guard get to the next level, all those things. And then again, I think what sold Goody on him was quick feet, agile for his size. I mean, the fact that he can move around like that, you would see him, getting those good reps in the Senior Bowl against the other talent. And he's able to stay on his feet, can get around, can kick, agile, turn, all that stuff. That's got to be a telltale sign for Goody to be like, okay, if this dude's available, we might be running that card up. And I would just love to see that. They probably highlighted the card. Maybe he's a 6'8" or a 6'9". You got the wingspan, you got the 40, you got the vert, all that's on there. Little snippet. I'd love to read what he had on the snippet right there for him.
Oh my God. Yeah. That, and again, if you guys find yourself at Lambeau Field anytime soon and go back through the Packers Hall of Fame, something new they added. They got Goody's draft board from 2022, and that's what we're referring to. It is awesome to see the draft board actually built on the wall. Was really, really cool. I'm a sucker for that type of stuff.
Means we got to add some stuff to ours next year, so we'll have to see how that works out.
Definitely, no doubt about it. All right, you ready to get into the tape, man?
Let's do it.
All right, so that's going to do it on YouTube, guys. Again, hop over to X or Rumble. Okay, we're live on there already, but we can't show the tape on YouTube for copyright purposes, even though we're allowed to. I'm not going to go through the spill. It would probably be okay if we did it, but all it takes is them going, we're not feeling like it today.
Not
and
today.
The channel's demonetized, and it's actually the channel's done. So that's where we're at. All right. So yeah, we did see his Coach Lynn said, y'all saw Goody's draft board from I think it was 2022, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. They had a mock version of it built on the wall in the Packer Hall of Fame. Really, really cool. So anyway, we're going to carry this over into Rumble. We're going to end here on YouTube. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We'll see you over on X and Rumble for Chalk Talk, Anthony Belton edition. All right, we'll just give this a second to end and make sure